The August 19th, 2024 regular session meeting of the Cinnaminson Township Committee is now called to order. Everyone please rise and join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. This meeting is being held in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, Public Law 1975, Chapter 231. Notice of this meeting was published in the Burlington County Times and the Courier Post on January 8th, 2024. Roll call, Madam Secretary.
Yes, Mayor. Mr. Horner.
Here.
Mr. McGill.
Here.
Mr. Seacrest.
Here.
Deputy Mayor Crable.
Present.
Mayor Kondo.
Here.
Thank you.
First thing on our agenda is the oath of office for newly hired and promoted police officers. We're going to start with the swearing in of Lieutenant Dennis Vitisse, and Committeeman McGill is going to do that. So,
Dennis, come on down. Repeat after me. I, Dennis Vitisse, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. I do further solemnly swear that I will impartially and justly perform all the duties of the office of police lieutenant according to the best of my ability. So help me God.
other way. Left hand on the Bible, right hand raised. That puts them in the front of the picture anyway. So it's better. Okay, repeat after me. I, Michael Curran, swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. So help me God. I do further solemnly swear that I will impartially and justly perform all the duties of the office of police lieutenant according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Congratulations, Lieutenant. And the final one for today will be Officer Zavalio. Correct? Beautiful. And right hand up. I, Adnan Zavaliolu, swear that I will support the Constitution
Swear that I will support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
so help me God.
so help me God.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will impartially and justly
I will impartially and
justly
justly
perform all of the duties
perform all the duties
of the office of police officer
of the office of police officer
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, officer.
Are we? Oh,
Congratulations.
okey dokey.
You got them go first. Sure. The officers, yeah, and whoever you want. And we'll add it to them. Apparently they don't want it.
How do you know?
Them going in the middle, you guys have two on each side.
You moved here.
I mean, I'm not. What's the area that you can run your township? Did I come out loud? I'm sorry.
Usually does, right?
I know. This doesn't work anymore. Got it.
All right.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Okay, next on our list is a presentation. As most people know, PSE&G has been working on gas main replacement in Cinnaminson since, I don't know, since I was a baby,
A long time ago.
which is a long time ago. And they are here this evening to give us an update on where we stand and what's yet to come. So, have at it.
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for having us. Good opportunity, I think, for us to come in and give you an overall project update, where we stand to date. We did start working in 2021. It was actually February in the freezing cold outside, Eric, if you're remembering, right? kind of the midst of COVID and trying to figure a lot of things out.
Wow.
So we did complete all of our actual gas infrastructure upgrade work, meaning main and services, as of June of this past year, and that spanned across multiple maps, multiple areas. I guess just to pause for a second, just to remind everybody, these projects were identified through a BPU stipulated program in which the Cinnaminson grids ranked high because of bare steel and old cast iron. Based off that ranking, we were able to identify, I'll get into the next slide, about 60% of the roads in Cinnaminson that we were able to upgrade our main and services, individual homes, meter replacements, moving them from the inside to the outside. So they were just some benefits of the overall program work that we did. Safety allows access for the emergency units to get to meters now that are outside and get to curb stop valves that are in the street versus having to enter homes during an emergency situation. So all very successful points of the program that were achieved over the last 3.5 years. Going back to the miles, just to kind of put it in perspective, we completed about 45 miles of work of main replacement. In the town, there's about 81 miles across. They are both municipal roads, county roads, and DOT roads. So we worked on about 60% of your overall roads, impacting about 180 streets and approximately 3,000 customers. So at the completion of the project, we had about 1% actual complaints that came through our hotline, which is a huge success for us as a customer-driven based company. Working with the township, a great partnership with all DPW, engineering aspects, police, fire, success for all. And we're very thankful as a company to be able to reach our customers and have the support of the township along that journey. It's a magnitude, it's a big map that we completed across the state with this program going on in multiple areas. So that partnership and success went along very well and helped the project stay on time as well, because when there's issues and we can't all work together, that can delay projects from completing. So to date, we have paved 168 of the 180 streets we impacted. So everything that we've touched, we've paved with the exception of the most recent project that was identified this year. We started working this year and we just completed in June, and that's in the Morgan area off of Villinger. So we're allowing the appropriate settlement time to occur, and then working with Kevin, we should be scheduling paving for late September once the township's ongoing work on Morgan Ave is complete. So we're trying to line that up that once the town work's done, we will be right behind paving the streets back there. Also coordinating with Palmyra Borough as well. We have some streets that run into their territory. That's all I have as far as an update. If there's any specific questions, concerns, field them.
I think it's gone exceptionally well. You guys have done a great job, as far as I can tell.
Thank you. Thanks. We're in constant contact with everyone between the police and the DPW. So if things come up where areas we've touched, we have punch list items, you'll see us come back and do some stuff, but we're available at any point in time, anytime, any needs. And that's just not gas, that's electric. Karen, as your representative, from a public affairs standpoint, we're here. If there's any engagements that we could be part of with the community, we would love, to continue the collaboration. So.
Okay, thank you so much.
To
You guys
all.
have
We
anything?
appreciate it.
Nope.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
Mayor, I think we have another representative of PSC&G here that wants to share some information as well.
Oh, okay.
Short and sweet. Good evening, everyone. Karen Fryer. So with the end of this project, we just wanted to share a little bit of goodwill for the public and students. These are little safety lights that can go up on dashboards. If I could leave them for the township administrator to please distribute on our behalf. We're so appreciative for your teamwork through what was a very tedious amount of work between the electric, gas, and recent storms. Also know any issues or concerns y'all ever have, we're always a phone call away. So
Excellent.
thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
And where should I just leave?
I'll take them. Oh.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Mayor, can I just add something to that?
Sure.
So I just want to thank Karen Kelly for coming today. I think the community is aware this has been a major project. Along the way, a lot of matters that residents became concerned about because of the amount of work. And we knew that going in, it was going to be a project that was not going to have all the fanfare all the time because of detours and such. I've spoken to the committee members many times, and we talked through all of them, but I want to say the response from these two professionals and their colleagues, and I know Kevin's out there, Chief Obuchowski, and everybody that had to deal with PSC&G and this project from the township perspective, they were very responsive. We couldn't ask for anything other than that. There's been some difficult times, we get it, residents, and you were always there to respond when there were some issues. And I've worked with utility companies for several years here and elsewhere. Not a better team that I've met. So I just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Schubert.
You can. You can turn his microphone off. Okay, next we have committee liaison reports. Committee member Horner. There we go. For Finance and Economic Development. I'm getting my teeth fixed tomorrow. They're replaced.
Yeah, the wood ones aren't working. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have one item, and it's a follow-up on the announcement regarding the Chick-fil-A project. I don't know if anybody has seen, or I'm sure everybody up here probably has, but for the members of the public that have not seen, site work demolition has begun, and the two remaining buildings that are on the site have been demolished, and site work will continue, and we should be welcoming Chick-fil-A shortly. That's all.
Awesome.
Oh, thank you. That's great. Committee member Segrist, Public Works.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just have a couple of updates. One, Cinnaminson's annual Fall Cleanup Day is scheduled for September 28th from 8 a.m. to noon at the Public Works facility located at 1601 Union Landing Road. Residents may bring tires with and without rims, paint, batteries, except lithium batteries. They're not allowed. Electronics, TVs, motor oil, cooking oil, household chemicals, and trash. Brush and leaves can be dropped off at the resident drop-off area at the entrance closest to the Walmart. Another note about the Public Works facility. Public Works has recently restocked the leaf compost or topsoil. I think that's up to for debate on whether you can use it for topsoil or not. It is. It's compost, it's self-service, and it's also at the same location, 1601 Union Landing Road. The next update, construction is, and this was just brought up in the PSC&G update, construction is underway on both Morgan Avenue and the Taylor's Lane reconstruction projects. Sign detours will remain throughout both projects. Just to give the public an idea of what this was, there was road construction on Morgan Avenue. It was planned to start around the 29th of July. It's postponed just a little bit. This work was being completed through a 2023 NJDOT, New Jersey Department of Transportation Trust Fund, grant secured by our committee. This includes curb and apron replacement to aid in drainage inlet structures, as well as milling and paving. The other part of this project is road construction of Taylor's Lane, and that work was scheduled to begin around the 12th and is underway now, so just a short delay. And this one was construction from Route 130 to Broad Street. This work is being completed through a 2022 New Jersey Department of Transportation Local Freight Impact Grant, also secured by this committee. This work includes, similar to the other project, select curb and apron replacement for drainage, as well as milling and paving. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. Committee member McGill, Public Safety.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Cinnaminson Township Police Department monthly report for July of 2024 is as follows. Total incidents responded to was 2545. Total arrests made were 29. Total property checks made was 787. Total motor vehicle stops made 281. Total motor vehicle summonses issued, 237. Total DWI arrests, 6. And for Morgan Cemetery, there was 1 call, and they were advised of after the hours, and no summons was issued. I also have 2 incidents I'd like to bring to forward. Car thefts are a major issue throughout the nation. Just last week, the New Jersey State Police reported there were 271 vehicles stolen statewide last week. The average number of motor vehicles stolen per day statewide is currently 36. Unfortunately, Cinnaminson has had 11 vehicles stolen this year, 2 in July, and 4 already in August. The thefts are due to lack of an immobilizer system. An immobilizer system uses a computer chip in the key and another in the car to verify that the key is authentic and belongs to the vehicle. Without this system, thieves can steal the car in less than a minute. The majority of the models targeted were Hyundais, Kias, and Dodges. Residents are urged to make sure they download the current software available for their vehicles and to make sure they have the most updated and anti-theft software, which will include an immobilizer system. I also have 1 incident I'd like to bring forward to everybody's attention. The department did a great job. Friday evening, August 16th, 2024, at approximately 8 p.m., police units were dispatched to the AT&T store located at 1253 South Route 130, where the old Paula's restaurant was, for a report of a robbery in progress. When units arrived, a getaway car in the parking lot took off out of the parking lot at a high rate of speed. At the same time, a second suspect was coming out of the store. Officer Josh Lilligore confronted the subject, who then ran away. Officer Lilligore chased the subject on foot, but lost sight of the subject as he hid somewhere in the Sweetwater condominium complex. Officer Lilligore then set up a perimeter. Once the perimeter was set up, police officer Harry Sicali and his K-9 partner Bain initiated a track for the suspect. After a short time, Bain located the subject hiding under a bush in the Sweetwater complex. Officers Robert Young and Kai Liebfried were able to take the suspect into custody without further incident. The suspect, who was from Philadelphia, is believed to be part of a large criminal group who has been involved in approximately 33 other robberies between Maryland, Delaware, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey. The subject was charged with the following crimes: second-degree robbery, third-degree conspiracy, third-degree criminal attempt, third-degree resisting by flight, fourth-degree obstruction, and fourth-degree tampering with evidence. The suspect was remanded to the Burlington County Jail. The Cinnaminson Police Department would also like to thank the following agencies for their help with this incident: Maple Shade Police Department, Riverton Police Department, Palmyra Police Department, and the United States Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms and Explosives, the ATF. The last thing I have to say tonight, it was a great job done by our department and all departments involved. Chief, you let them know we appreciate the help that they gave us. One thing I'd like to add is our National Night Out, which got canceled because of rain, is going to be at Wood Park alongside the last Township concert on August 29th. And believe it or not, that's all I have for tonight.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Deputy Mayor Crable, Parks and Recreation and Veterans Affairs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. For Veterans Affairs, the Township will be holding a remembrance and an observance of the tragic events of 9/11 at the Municipal Building on Wednesday, September 11th at 5 p.m. All are welcome to attend, and we will provide a reminder and additional information in the coming weeks. For Parks and Recreation, the tennis courts at Ravenswood Park have been refurbished, and the courts will be opening back up for use sometime this week. The summer concert series is in its last few weeks. The last concert in the park, actually, I believe we do have an extension by 1 week, which will be September 5th. Performing at this week's concert will be the Godsons of Soul, a Jersey Shore rock and soul band. And just as a reminder, the concerts are at 7 p.m. at Wood Park. Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This concludes my report.
Thank you, Mrs. Crable. And for me, Administration, Health and Senior Services, since Committee Member McGill talked for so long, I'm going to cut you a break. I have nothing to report this evening. It's all good. Next on the agenda is an ordinance hearing. That would be ordinance 2024-8, which is to amend the Code of Ordinances to repeal Chapter 290, flood damage prevention, and to adopt the new Chapter 290, flood damage prevention, and to adopt flood hazard maps, to designate floodplain administrator and provide for the severability and an effective date. Township Engineer Joe Barbadura has notified us that the New Jersey Department of Environmental Protection regulations related to flood damage prevention. The purpose of the regulations is to update several regulations related to stormwater and drainage and the impact on local professionals. The revisions incorporate the Uniform Construction Code standards into floodplain management, clarifies the responsibility of the construction official and floodplain manager, adjusts review and inspection procedures, and updates fees and penalties. Mr. Barbadoro, Superintendent of Public Works Kevin Gaunt, Township Administrator Eric Schubiger, and Township Solicitor Carmen Segenario have reviewed the proposed provisions of the ordinance and jointly recommend adoption by the governing body. May I have a motion to open public comment on ordinance 2024-8?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. May I have a second?
I will second the motion.
Thank you, Mrs. Cravel. Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay, public comment on ordinance 2024-8 is now open. Please state your name and address for the record.
Mike Goins, 100 Purnell Avenue. I have provided some comments about this ordinance. And one of the things I want to point out is that I just think from a permitting standpoint, we need to do a little bit better job because this ordinance references NJAC 7.13, which went in effect in June 2nd, 1975, and it talks about fences and pools, and that they're not allowed in a flood zone. But when I rode around and looked at some of the flood zones, we got vinyl fences, and vinyl fence really wasn't in vogue in 75. And I looked at the changes for that under the administrative code, and those two sections have never had any changes as far as pools and fences, where other sections did. So I just think we need to somehow coordinate with the permitting people that, hey, in these zones, they need to follow what the rules say, because you can't have that type of fence. You can't have chain link, you can't have vinyl. You have to have a split rail or barbed wire or a fabric type of thing, wire strung across. So,
Yes, I say your suggestion is not to do anything with this current ordinance, but to go back and
it's
look at
just-
other ordinances that this refers
It's just
to.
to say, hey, to make sure, because this ordinance referenced this 7.13, that we follow that, and the permit people need to not just, hate to use the words rubber stamp, but, okay, they need to look at where the flood zones is, because there is pools in the flood zones, and there is above-ground pools I'm talking about, and fences that should not be, and I'm saying they need to take it down, but in the future, if they repair or replace or whatever,
Okay,
that's my
all
only.
right. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike.
Okay, seeing no one else come forward, may I have a motion to close public comment on ordinance 2024-8?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. I will second that. Voice vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Nays? Abstentions? Okay, may I have a motion to approve ordinance 2024-8?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Roll call vote, please.
Yes, Mayor. Mr. Horner.
Aye.
Mr. McGill.
Aye.
Mr. Seagrass.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Cravel.
Aye.
Mayor Kondo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, the next ordinance on the agenda is ordinance 2024-9, which is amending Chapter 265, specifically 265-2, outside employment of police officers. Police Chief Bill Obachowski has recommended a review of outside employment provisions for police officers. The purpose of the ordinance is to update provisions associated with the township officers performing services for other entities such as PSE&G, American Water, and other public agencies. Chief Obachowski Mr. Schubiger and Mr. Segenario have reviewed the proposed revisions of the ordinance, and they jointly recommend adoption by the governing body. May I have a motion to open public comment on ordinance 2024-9?
I'll make a, go ahead.
No, that's all you ladies first.
I'll make a motion to open public comment on ordinance 2024-9.
Thank you. May I have a second?
I'm going to second that, Mr. Mayor.
You can do that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Voice vote, all in favor?
Aye.
Nays, abstentions? Okay, public comment on ordinance 2024-9 is now open. Please state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one come forward, may I have a motion to close public comment on ordinance 2024-9?
I'll make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, sir. I will second that. Voice vote, please. All in favor? Nays, abstentions? Okay. May I have a motion to approve 2024-9?
Mr. Mayor, I'll make that motion.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Horner.
Aye.
Mr. McGill.
Aye.
Mr. Seeger.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Cahill.
Aye.
Mayor Condon.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, that brings us to the consent agenda, where we have 6, 7, or 8 items in the consent agenda. Resolution 2024-100, authorizing the award of contract to Golden Equipment Company for 2 Peterbilt chassis for Public Works. Mr. Gaunt recommends the purchase of 2 hook lift chassis trucks from Golden Entertainment Company in the amount of $544,016. Through Sourcewell Cooperative Purchasing Agreement, the trucks will be utilized by Public Works Department for plowing, de-icing, leaf collection, tree and brush hauling, and stormwater management operations. Chief Financial Officer, Purchasing Agent Julia Edmondson has determined that sufficient funding is available for this purpose and recommends that the governing body authorize the purchase. Resolution 2024-101, authorizing award of contract to Visual Computer Solutions Incorporated, doing business as Jobs for Blue, for coordination of off-duty employment of police officers. Chief Obachowski has secured pricing for the purchase of software to assist with the coordination of off-duty employment scheduling for the police department. The vendors requiring police officers will be charged a percentage fee to cover the costs associated with the software, and there will be no cost to the township. Township professionals have reviewed the provisions of the agreement and recommend that the governing body authorize the award of contract to Visual Computer Systems. Resolution 2024-102, authorizing electronic tax sale. Tax collector Sandy Root and Ms. Edmondson have recommended an electronic tax sale as it will provide for a greater pool of potential lien buyers and a more efficient tax sale process. 2024-103, authorizing the cancellation of taxes for totally disabled veteran, Block 2602, Lot 71. Tax Assessor Dennis DeClerc has confirmed the property owner meets the criteria of the eligibility for this benefit. Resolution 2024-104, authorizing the cancellation of taxes for totally disabled veteran, Block 3410, Lot 21. Tax Assessor Dennis DeClerc has confirmed that the property owner also meets the criteria of eligibility for this benefit. Resolution 2024-105, authorizing the appointment of crossing guards for the 2024-2025 school year. Chief Obachowski recommends the appointment of crossing guards subject to the results of their annual health screening. The recommended appointments will be sufficient to cover all posts within the township. Resolution 2024-106, authorizing shared services agreement with the Cinnaminson Board of Education for Class 3 school resource officers. This action finalizes the terms of the shared services agreement with the Cinnaminson Board of Education for the Class 3 program. The agreement ensures that an officer is posted at all of the schools within the district. Chief Obachowski recommends that the shared services agreement is extended for another term. And finally, we have one raffle, Cinnaminson High School project graduation, And the raffle, I believe, is 11/17/2024, and that is the end of the consent agenda. May I have a motion to open public comment on the consent agenda items only?
I will make that motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. May I have a second?
Mr. Mayor, I'll second that.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay, public's comment on the consent agenda is now open. Please state your name and address for the record. Seeing no one come forward, may I have a motion to close public comment on the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to close public comment on the consent agenda.
Thank you, Ms. Cravel. I will second that. Voice vote, please. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda as read.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. May I have a second?
I will second that, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. I guess we have to have a roll call vote there.
Mr. Horner.
Aye.
Mr. McGill.
Aye.
Mr. Seeger.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Craybill.
Aye.
Mayor Kondo.
Aye.
Thank you.
Approval of minutes of the August 5th, 2024 meeting. May I have a motion to approve these minutes of August 5th, 2024?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of August 5th, 2024.
Thank you, Ms. Cravel. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Horner.
I abstain.
Thank you. Mr. McGill.
Aye.
Mr. Seagrass.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Craybill.
Aye.
Mayor Kondo.
I also abstain.
Thank you.
Okay, it's time to pay the bills. May I have a motion to approve the bill list?
I'd like to make a motion to approve the bill list.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Horner.
Aye.
Mr. McGill.
Aye.
Mr. Seagrass.
Aye.
Deputy Mayor Craybill.
Aye.
Mayor Kondo.
Aye.
Thank you.
All right, this brings us to staff and professional comments. Do we have any comments from anyone on staff or any of the professionals? Everybody
Mayor, I have one.
go right ahead.
I just want to, this governing body here appoints an emergency management committee every year at reorg. Those names change and positions change every year. But, you know, a week ago, we had some significant flooding in town, which I know everyone is aware of. It's a battle, an uphill battle for this community to deal with. But I will say, in the middle of the night, we had some new members of our emergency management committee. It was seamless to see a new fire chief, a new police chief step up and coordinate the response to that, among others, Mr. Gaunt, our public works superintendent as well. But just particularly to see new people in leadership positions step up as if they had been doing it for many years, I thought was really good to see for the town. I think it's good for all of us to see because unfortunately we have to deal with those situations on occasion. And at the end of the day, public safety is the most important thing for us to ensure. And I think we did a good job of doing it. I want to commend all of you who were here, who responded, and those who weren't here. I think that's just so vital to why this community is so great. So thank you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay. Public comment. May I have a motion to open public comment?
Go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion to open public comment, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Segrist. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Voice vote. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay. Public comment is now open. Please state your name and address for the record.
Good evening. How are you? Karen E. Garnett, 627 South Bellevue Avenue, Cinnaminson, New Jersey. The time is coming very quickly for the school buses to come to our area. And I noticed that from Reed Street all the way through Roland to Union Landing, there have been an additional number of people parking on Roland. In addition, there are stop signs there, at least 3 stop signs there. And at Pear Street, the one that's coming in from the railroad tracks, coming up to Pear, that is sometimes obscured by the trees that are there, and it needs to be cut back. It has been done, but they need to cut it back. Also, I would like to know if we can have some kind of patrol to go through Roland Street from time to time and to see how the parking and the ordinances that are being violated, to contact the persons. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor and everyone. I appreciate the time to talk to you. My name is Scott Friedman. I live at 3 Olmsted Lane. I'm here on behalf of myself personally and also the other members of the Olmsted HOA. As you know, Olmsted Lane is adjacent to Fork Landing Road. And I just want to bring to the board's attention, I've spoken to Mr. Gordon about this issue, is the quality of the road. North Fork Landing Road, the side that was not repaved by PSE&G. It looks hellacious. It's borderline embarrassing to us, frankly. It's 3 and 4 toned colors. There's cracks up and down, vertically, horizontally. There's paint stains everywhere. There's chunks of the road missing from where PSE&G's crew parked, basically parked their equipment for weeks on end. It looks terrible. There's asphalt stains that is embedded into the street now. And I know that some of the roads in town were not repaved fully. I understand that PSEG was limited to the side that they disturbed. Like, for example, I know that Branch Pike, one side is repaved and one isn't, but there's no imperfections on that road. Our road looks awful, and it's just terrible. And I spoke to Kevin about it. He advised me that that side of the road is not scheduled anytime soon to be repaved, and I am quite concerned. And I'm also concerned now because Olmsted Lane, whether it's done because of the disturbance of PSE&G or not, now has a crack going right down the middle of the entire street, and the whole road is going to split in half very, very soon. And we're talking about a 9.5-year-old road, and it should not happen, okay? And I don't know what can be done or what will be done, but I just ask if someone will take a really close look at the quality of that road, because it looks terrible. And I walk up and down it every single day with my dog, and I frankly can't believe the condition of it. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Friedman, if I
Thank
may.
you.
Yeah, sure. And this is, I'm not questioning you, I'm asking the question.
Feel good.
Are you more concerned with the aesthetics or the functionality of the road, or is it equally both?
Both.
Both, okay.
I mean, the aesthetics look, we have cracks where there's grass growing up from the cracks, and that looks terrible, and all these things look terrible, but all those cracks and everything else, the road kind of slopes off there too. It just doesn't, and then with Olmsted Lane starting to split around too, I'm very concerned about the functionality of the road.
Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Hi. My name is Wendy Sanders, 372 Boxwood Lane, Cinnaminson. I believe I came to the wrong meeting last time. I went to the Township Committee work session meeting, and I wasn't sure if there's a difference or how you differentiate. So I thought I would come to this one and just talk a little bit more about what I asked you about last time, which was trap neuter release of the freeholders resolution that was passed in 2019 that encouraged all the municipalities in our county to pass a ordinance that was more TNR friendly for cats. TNR is trap neuter release. I volunteer for a group, but this is just me as a resident of Cinnaminson. I have trapped cats in Cinnaminson for years, 20 years. If you are not familiar with TNR, it's really the only humane and effective approach to cats that just live in the community. And it's been practiced for decades in the U.S. It's not something new, but a lot of people have never heard of it before. TNR improves the lives of cats by relieving the stress of pregnancy, by relieving mating. It reduces nuisance behaviors like spraying, yowling, roaming, fighting. Their physical health improves. They're vaccinated for rabies. TNR stabilizes cat colonies, so when those cats are fixed, they're not reproducing. It's really the only way to stabilize cat colonies. I know what our ordinance says, however, I fixed cats that have come to my yard from someone that I tried to help in the past. I think there's like an overflow, and they kind of end up where I live, and I'm looking at these cats. They're not fixed. I trap them, fix them. When you release a cat that's fixed, it doesn't go anywhere. It's not, has no reason to roam, so I end up taking care of these cats. So I consider myself a caregiver, colony cat caregiver. Today, I brought one to the animal hospital because it was not, had something going on with its eye anyway. But I cover those costs and I'm fine with it. But knowing that animal control could come out and scoop up some cats when I already paid for them to be fixed, that I'm helping control the population. So it's discouraging knowing that we don't have something more progressive or even animal friendly. I spend an enormous amount of time out front in my yard, and people will walk by. I see them with their dogs all the time. We're really an animal-friendly community, and so I'm just hoping that, you guys will consider what I'm presenting. Back to stabilizing cat colonies. Sometimes cats are identified as friendly cats. They can be adopted. Kittens oftentimes will go into rescue. So I rescue for Burlington County Animal Alliance, and I have trapped probably about over 20 cats in one location in Cinnaminson. Some of those adult cats were truly feral. They were released, and then kittens that were able to be socialized, they went into rescue and got adopted and got homes. So that's that many more off the street. It diminishes the size of cat colonies over time, and it meets the needs of the community. So cats don't reproduce. It stabilizes the colony, and eventually it starts to decline. I also feel like, TNR is a really good opportunity to educate. I'm a retired educator in Palmyra. I taught special ed for 15 years. And for me, I teach classes at the library just because I know there are people out there who are feeding cats, who are not fixing them. So I'm trying to educate not just Cinnaminson, but anybody who sees that class posted online. They can come to the class that I teach at the library for free, how to trap and fix a cat. They can come to my foster class. I just try to get the information out there. Lastly, TNR protects lives of animals. Our county shelter was aiming to be a no-kill shelter by 2025, and I don't think that's going to happen, but the resolution by the freeholders kind of set it up for us to be successful. It's just trying to get the municipalities on board. This one's important. It is cost effective. So if you guys were to pay animal control, I think you contract with animal control, so if they have to go out, round up some cats, they go to the shelter, it's $300 to kill a cat. Paying for animal control, if police are involved, whatever, then it has to live in the shelter for 7 days and then euthanized because their feral cats are not adoptable. So when you TNR a cat, it costs $50. It's also a socially responsible, compassionate approach to the animals, and most people want to be humane, I would hope. So that was just a little bit more information because I know I kind of sprang it on you guys last week, and I just wanted to follow up with a little bit more information. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, Ms. Sanders?
Yes.
So I wasn't at the last meeting,
Okay.
so you may have addressed this at that time. What exactly are you asking the resolution to say? Like, I know you're not asking like you to be the person that people call and pay
Oh, heck no.
$50 to go and pick up cats.
Right,
Like,
no, I have enough.
so I don't know what the TNR program is.
So a lot of animal advocates were who were the freeholders back in 2019. They went in mass groups to support the freeholders encouraging all the municipalities in our county to adopt an ordinance that supports TNR, which is trap, neuter, release of community cats. And cats are everywhere, whether people see them or not.
No, I get that.
Yeah. So what I'm saying is, I live in Cinnaminson. I've been TNRing cats in Cinnaminson for a long time.
Okay.
But when I look at our ordinance, it's from 1969, and I think it was readopted in 1996. And it calls animals like nuisance animals, and they're subject to being collected and disposed of. And that's disturbing, knowing that I have spent, $50 a cat to TNR countless cats. Why? Why would they have to be collected and killed when I know that they have shelter, they're being provided medical care, food, etc. It also protects them in terms of people that feed cats and don't fix them.
No, I get it. So I get the purpose of it. You're referencing $50. Who is getting that? Like, how is the program?
So the Friends of the Burlington County Animal Shelter have a TNR program under their Friends of the Burlington County Animal Shelter.
Gotcha.
And
That's the piece I was
their
missing.
TNR program, I believe, contracts with Ace of Spades, which is a spay-neuter clinic, an animal hospital on Route 38.
Motorhead song.
I think the Friends pay $62 a cat. The homeowner, the trapper, whoever has the cat, pays $50. So the Friends pick up the additional $12. That cat gets fixed.
Gotcha.
It gets ear tipped. The left ear, instead of pointy, is I think it's like the top 1/4 is cut flat. So it's like a universal sign across the country that cat is fixed.
Gotcha.
Then they get a rabies shot. Did I say spay neuter, rabies shot, ear tip? So it's
there's
like
a
the feral
program
cat
in
package.
place. There's a program already in place,
Yep,
as you
with
referenced.
the
that
Friends.
you've- Gotcha, okay.
So what
that's
I do is I try to teach people in the community or any community around here, if you have cats and you're feeding them, you need to fix them. This is how you go about it. So I'm teaching them how to trap a cat, how to recover it safely, how to go about getting in touch with the Friends and setting up an appointment, things like that.
Gotcha, okay.
So
Got it.
I was just here looking for Cinnaminson to adopt more of an animal-friendly
Formal process.
ordinance.
Gotcha,
Mhm.
okay.
So
got it.
the
Thank
ordinance currently basically says round them up and dispose of them.
It's-
And you're looking for something a little more humane than that.
Yes,
Okay.
and so I did present last week, I brought a copy, I have another copy, but it was the freeholders resolution from 2019. And within that resolution, it states that the county solicitor's office would draft an ordinance, and any of the municipalities can adopt that ordinance if they want to. Or you can make changes however you want.
Got it.
And if you want to make changes, let me know, because there's some things in there that are not really
Mayor,
effective, but,
Absolutely.
Sanders, right?
yes,
So I
Wendy's
apologize.
fine.
Yeah, I apologize. So I meant to give you a call a little bit sooner.
That's okay.
But why don't we do this? I'll reach out to you sometime this week, and I think I need to be educated a little bit more in this whole program.
Mm-hmm.
And then maybe we can identify the steps that you would recommend
Okay.
for a municipality.
Yeah.
I'll bring it back to the full governing body, share it with them, so they're updated, and then we can go from there. I
Mm-hmm. Okay.
think that might be the next step that
Yeah,
would be helpful.
it's just,
That's okay.
like, for example, the mailman knocked on my door like 3 weeks ago, and he's like, "Can I talk to you?" And I'm like, "Sure, Jim, what's up?" And he said, "There's this house on such and such lane," and I was like, "Hold it right there." It's a couple that I tried to help going back 15 years, tried to help them for about 6 years, but it's kind of a cat hoarding situation. So it's not safe. It was 1,000,000 degrees outside. There's no water, and my mailman's telling me about it, and I'm saying, I don't know what to tell you. I'll reach out to the Friends, see what they say, and they said, go to the cops. So I went to the police, and really, it's just, there's really nothing in place that, it's not the cat's fault, it's the human's fault. You know? So, there's only so many humans that are going to do the right thing, but then there's only so much money that I can afford to spend doing the right
absolutely.
thing, you know? So I'm trying to get more people on board by educating them and, so, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, seeing no one else come forward, may I have a motion to close public comment?
I'll make a motion to close public comment.
Thank you, Mr. Horner. May I have a second?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. McGill. Voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Nays? Abstentions? Okay, we are to the committee comment portion. Any comments from committee members this evening?
Yes, Mr. Mayor, I'll make mine brief. Tuesday, September 6th, as Administrator Schubager alluded to, there was some significant flooding in town. My street happened to be one of those. I wanted to thank Police Chief Obachowski, new Lieutenant Curran, DPW Superintendent Kevin Gaunt, and as well as Administrator Schubager, who came from home that evening and showed up on our street to offer any support that they could. We had, as Deputy Mayor Cravel can attest to, we had significant flooding on the street, homes, people lost vehicles, and quite frankly, we didn't know what to do. And each one of the individuals that I mentioned and the others that Administrator Schubager also mentioned were a significant help to the residents, myself included. So I want to thank each and every one of them.
Thank you.
Very nice, thank you.
Anyone else?
No, sir.
Mr. McGill?
Yeah, I just want to say, if you haven't been going to the concerts in the park on Thursday nights, you're missing out because it's been fantastic. We had a lot of great music this summer, great turnout, a couple hundred people each night. And we have a couple left, so please get out and see it if you can. Thank you.
Ms. Cravel?
I don't think I have anything to add that hasn't already been said.
And I think everything that I was going to say, that's the disadvantage of going last. Everything that I was going to say has already been said. Thank you to all the emergency responders for your actions on the 6th of August. And with that, I can call for adjournment. Do we have a motion for adjournment?
I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that. All in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Hey, nays, abstentions? Nobody wants a nay? Nobody wants to abstain?
No, that's
Okay, next meeting is Monday, September 16th at 6:30 PM, right here.
all right.